Welcome to this explainer. Think of today's session as your own personal strategic advisory briefing. We are talking directly to executives, professionals, and really anyone looking to secure long-term career growth while navigating this massive wave of workforce automation. We're going to dive deep into the data and the research to map out exactly how you can position yourself for success. Let's get right into it.
So let's address the big question that is pretty much on everyone's mind right now. How safe is your career in a world that's being radically reshaped by artificial intelligence? People constantly wonder what they should study next or which specific job title they need to chase. But to truly thrive, we can't just guess. We need to look at the macro trends, understand the hard data, and build a highly resilient career strategy from there.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with 5 global market trends, look at the WEF workforce outlook, map the shift from shrinking to emerging roles, explore the green transition opportunities, and finish up with your future-proof skills matrix.
Section 1. 5 Global Market Trends.
Technology doesn't just happen in a vacuum. Yes, AI and robotics are completely transforming how businesses operate. But this tech evolution is colliding head-on with geopolitical tensions, like the US and China trade dynamics, which are forcing businesses to totally rethink international markets. Combine that with massive economic hurdles, changing demographics, and the global push for a green transition. It's this incredibly complex web of factors that is literally rewriting the rules of the global economy and dictating your long-term career stability.
To see how this actually plays out in reality, let's look at South Korea. They're experiencing one of the fastest aging populations on the planet because of low birth rates and high life expectancy. Very soon, their elderly will completely outnumber the working-age population. So why does this matter for your career? Because an aging demographic radically skyrockets the need for human-centric healthcare, while simultaneously pushing for a much faster adoption of robotic automation to fill those huge labor gaps. These demographic shifts dictate exactly where the future money and jobs are flowing.
Section 2. The WEF workforce outlook.
Now, there has been a dramatic, completely fascinating shift in perspective here. Older World Economic Forum reports were honestly pretty pessimistic, predicting 83 million jobs displaced with only 69 million created. That's a net loss. But the 2030 projection is highly optimistic. We are looking at 170 million new jobs being created, largely in tech, healthcare, and green energy, which totally offsets the 92 million displaced ones. So the real narrative here isn't about job loss, it's about massive, historic job creation.
Section 3. Shrinking to emerging roles. The crucial thing to understand is that instead of just vanishing, jobs are evolving. Take a data entry clerk. That role is fading fast because AI tools can just automatically collect and enter data. But if a clerk chooses to upskill into tech-adjacent proficiencies, they can pivot directly into the soaring data science specialist role. They go from being the person who enters the data to the person who analyzes and directs it. That is your step-by-step framework for transitioning.
It's the exact same story with traditional bank tellers. They are being systematically phased out by online banking and advanced ATMs. But the space they leave behind, it's being rapidly filled by fintech engineers, the folks actually building the next generation of digital payment systems. The banking industry isn't dying. The nature of the work is just shifting up the technological ladder.
The pattern here is absolutely undeniable. Jobs that rely heavily on highly repetitive tasks or just a basic human touch for routine scheduling and sorting are becoming irrelevant. Postal clerks are being replaced by automated sorting machines, cashiers are yielding to self-checkout kiosks, even executive admins are being swapped out for AI-powered schedulers. Basically, if your daily routine can be mapped into a predictable algorithm, that role is shrinking.
Section 4. Green Transition Opportunities.
So, where are the huge opportunities? A massive chunk of it is driven entirely by global climate change initiatives. We are seeing incredible, surging demand for renewable energy engineers, sustainability specialists, and autonomous vehicle experts. But to make all that happen, we need the tech backbone, AI, machine learning, and big data specialists to handle the massive data sets humans just can't process alone, plus the security management to protect it all. And of course, those demographic shifts mean we desperately need human-centric roles, like nurses for our aging populations and higher ed teachers to reskill the workforce.
Section 5. Future-proof skills matrix.
The demand for generative AI training is skyrocketing across the globe. A foundational skill you absolutely need is prompt engineering, essentially learning how to talk to AI to get exactly the output you want. There's also a massive focus right now on building trustworthy AI and leveraging AI-driven decision-making. Meanwhile, in places like India, corporations are heavily sponsoring training focused on boosting overall efficiency in application development. Whether you're building this foundation yourself or your company is sponsoring it, this Gen AI literacy is a non-negotiable step in your career transition.
Now, we need to clear up a massive misconception. People always ask, is it too late for me to learn to code? Do I even need to if I'm not a software engineer? The answer is yes, you do. Coding is no longer just for the tech workers, it's becoming a foundational literacy required across all modern professional roles, exactly like basic math. You don't have to be a mathematician to use math at work, and you won't need to be a full-stack developer to use basic coding logic to automate your own workflows in the future.
But, and this is a really big but, technical skills alone aren't enough to future-proof your career. Combining your new tech literacy with uniquely human soft skills like creative thinking and leadership, that is what will truly set you apart. In booming industries like renewable energy or healthcare, the professionals who win will be the ones who can understand the AI outputs and then creatively apply them to real human problems while leading your teams through the transition. Because here is the reality check. According to the World Economic Forum, a staggering 59% of all workers will absolutely need significant training by 2030 just to survive these market shifts. Over half the workforce has to evolve. The strong correlation between disappearing jobs and rising jobs proves that those who put in the effort to reskill are going to thrive, and those who don't are simply going to be phased out.
If you embrace this technology and aggressively upskill now, you won't just survive, you'll become the most in-demand professional in the market. So, as you map out your personal career roadmap, you really have to ask yourself, will you be the one phased out by AI, or will you be the one directing it? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks for joining this explainer.